My husband, who was supposedly on a business trip abroad, had taken our daughter's passport. Where are you right now? I've just arrived in France. France? How audacious of him to lie so blatantly. I was determined to expose my husband's lie and give him a piece of my mind. Just you watch, the price for betraying me will be hefty. My name is Betty. I'm a 39-year-old working housewife who runs a beauty salon. My husband is Carl, a company employee, a year older than me. We are a family of 3 with our daughter Eileen, who is about to start college. Next week, my daughter is planning to go to South Korea for her graduation trip with her friends. She's really looking forward to it. Then, one day out of the blue, my husband's business trip to France was decided. It was a sudden decision. My hard work got recognized. It's a big opportunity for me. Does a business trip abroad get decided this suddenly? I've been working nearly every day since New Year's Day. The company is watching my efforts. My husband has been going on business trips almost every weekend for the past few months. His hard work was being acknowledged. I need to prepare quickly. Well, I only need the essentials. The company has provided everything I'll need. But even so, it's France. You'll need your passport. Oh right, watching her father's behavior, my daughter whispered to me. Dad doesn't seem nervous at all about his international trip. Exactly, I replied. It's as if he's just going on a spa vacation. I became worried about whether my husband could properly work in France. The next morning, he left for his trip with high spirits. His business trip will last for 2 weeks, starting today, and next week our daughter will be heading to South Korea for her graduation trip. Eileen, have you prepared everything for your trip? I'm all set. Finally, I'll be in Korea next week. Haha, you must be excited. You'll be working as usual, Mom. Thank you for everything. The reason I can go on this graduation trip is all thanks to you. You've worked hard in your studies, Eileen. If you enjoy the trip, that will make me happy. In the evening, when I got home from work, I saw a missed call from my brother. He said he wanted to visit and give a gift to my niece, who's also traveling next week. My brother works at a travel agency and he had arranged my daughter's graduation trip. Eileen, Uncle said he's coming over now. I'm excited. I wanted to ask him many things about the trip. When my brother arrived, he gave Eileen some spending money for her trip. Wow, this is a lot. Thank you so much, brother. Eileen, make sure you thank him properly. Thank you, Uncle. South Korea is a foreign country. Be careful, especially with managing your passport. I've kept it safe. It's in a locked drawer. As she said that, Eileen went to her drawer to show her passport. What? It's gone. My passport is missing? Eileen cried out in alarm. We all looked into the drawer in shock. To our horror, Eileen's passport was gone. Instead, my husband's passport was left behind. This is Dad's passport. Oh no, he must have mistakenly taken Eileen's passport with him. What do we do? Dad has already left for France. Carl went to France? Betty, what's going on? He had a sudden business trip? He left this morning. What do we do? He's not answering his phone. He must be on the plane already. I frantically tried to call my husband but couldn't get through. My daughter looked shocked and had turned pale. Only my brother seemed calm and thoughtful. Both of you calm down. Did Carl really go on a business trip abroad? Yes, he did. He can't go to France without his own passport. Oh wait, that's right. Eileen, go back to your room. I need to talk to your mother. Eileen looked at me anxiously and said, Did Dad lie? It seems so. Don't worry about anything, Eileen. She seemed to sense something and went back to her room looking sad. Is Eileen gonna be okay? She seems anxious and looks sad after finding out her father's lie. Yes, I know it's tough for you too, Betty, but our main concern now should be getting Eileen's passport back. Yes, you're right. According to my brother's deduction, my husband's overseas trip was a lie. He must be on a domestic trip somewhere in secret. Do you have Carl's computer? Let's check it out. We share a computer at home. I doubt he would leave any evidence since the whole family uses it. Disregarding my doubts, my brother skillfully searched through the browsing history and the trash bin. It seems he has plans for a boat trip to Hawaii. Hawaii? A boat trip? Is he with someone? I already had suspicions about my husband cheating. There are also search histories for luxury hotels in Hawaii. All of them are for sweets. I trembled with anger. The sweet indicates that my husband must be with his mistress. My husband has betrayed me as his wife and lied to our daughter. They must be in that hotel right now. Calm down. They haven't reached Hawaii yet. According to my brother, if they were indeed traveling to Hawaii, the plane shouldn't have arrived yet. Retrieving my daughter's passport from my husband, who is currently in the sky, seems impossible. A mix of despair and anger left me feeling lost. What should I do? Carl isn't even answering his phone. Looking at the plane schedule, it seems like they took a non-direct flight. Depending on how determined you are, Betty, you can get there ahead of them and confront them. My determination? Yes, it seems Carl has been using the hotel suite room booking plan every weekend. I found the reservation schedules in the trash bin folder. You work on weekends, don't you, Betty? What? Carl always said he was working on weekends too. He's been betraying me for that long? It seems so. To retrieve Eileen's passport from Carl means you'll be exposing his infidelity. Are you prepared for that? I made up my mind instantly. I couldn't let Eileen remain hurt by all this. I've made up my mind. I'll expose my husband's lies and get my daughter's passport back. My brother nodded. He quickly arranged a flight for me on his smartphone. By the next morning, I was set to depart for Hawaii. Before leaving, I reassured my daughter. I promise, I'll bring back your passport. Don't worry. Mom, don't push yourself too hard. You're more important to me than any trip. From the look on her face, it seemed my daughter had also made up her mind in her own way. While my brother couldn't come due to work, he had contacts in Hawaii, specifically a lawyer, and had made arrangements for me. I had resolved in my heart that if my husband's infidelity was confirmed, I would divorce him without hesitation. Upon arriving in Hawaii just before noon the next day, I met up with the lawyer my brother had introduced me to at Hawaii Airport. Nice to meet you. I've heard about the situation from your brother. Thank you for assisting me today. This young lawyer mostly dealt with travel-related disputes. However, he mentioned that he occasionally had to deal with more unusual travel-related situations. We can't just call your husband rashly, especially when we're unsure if he's with someone. He might take precautions and separate from his companion if he suspects anything. I see. Revealing the presence of a lawyer to your husband should only be done after obtaining conclusive evidence of his affair. Conclusive evidence? How can we obtain that? The lawyer informed me of the necessary items that would serve as evidence for an affair. We then devised a strategy to secure that evidence. Since my husband was using a non-direct flight, he would be arriving at the airport in Hawaii later in the evening. The confrontation with my husband would be a one-shot deal. The chosen location, the airport. As the scheduled arrival time of the flight approached, the lawyer and I were ready and waiting. Soon, I spotted my husband and a younger woman, arm in arm, making their way through the arrival lobby. Finally, we're here! Hawaii is so warm. Yeah, and we get to relax and enjoy it for 2 whole weeks. I'm so happy, Carl. Let's do a lot of shopping. Suppressing the rage bubbling up inside me, I discreetly snapped photos of the two of them walking arm in arm. When they sat down on the chairs in the arrival lobby, I followed the lawyer's signal, stealthily approached and sat behind them, facing away. I then started my voice recorder. So, are we heading straight to the hotel? Yeah, I kinda wanna rest there as soon as possible. But let's shop first. Again? And you sure love shopping. Can my wallet handle it? Oh, stop teasing. I've been holding back, you know. Besides, I'm always second place for you, Carl. What are you talking about? My love for you, Anne, is #1. Really? You love me more than your wife? Obviously. So let's head to the hotel, alright? Oh, Carl. Suppressing the urge to turn around and slap both of them, I discreetly turned off the voice recorder. This woman knew Carl was married and was involved with him. Now I had evidence of that. Stepping a little away with the lawyer, we reviewed the photos and audio recording. It seems we got the evidence quite easily. With this, you can file for divorce citing your husband's infidelity. Good. I have a few things I want to say to those two, so I'll be right back. Maybe you shouldn't. Oh ma'am, please wait. Ignoring the lawyer's protest, I approached the couple from behind and called my husband. I just arrived in France. France, you say? So is this a French airport then? Finally realizing I was standing right behind him, my husband froze without turning around. The hand holding his phone was trembling. Why are you here? Still speaking into the phone, I said to him, you took Eileen's passport, give it back first, and then we'll talk. His mistress looked utterly shocked, her mouth agape. Wait, Carl, why is your wife here? You didn't tell me about this. Hey, just shut up for a second. I met her here by chance? What are you even saying? Even at this point, my husband began with a pathetic attempt at an excuse. Never mind that. Give me Eileen's passport right now. A passport? Oh right, isn't this Eileen's? It's not, isn't this? Just give it back. Sure enough, he had our daughter's passport. He probably hadn't checked it since it was a domestic trip. I took it back, feeling a little relieved. So, does Eileen know about this then? You're asking if she knows? Eileen found your passport instead of hers. Can you imagine how shocked she was? Oh no, look, this is a misunderstanding. Actually, my business trip to France suddenly got cancelled. Really? Regardless of your reasons for being here with her, I'm divorcing you. Betty, I love you more than anything. I can't get a divorce. I was completely astounded. Then the woman named Anne began to rant, and, Carl, what are you saying? Didn't you tell me you'd divorce that wife of yours anytime? Then Anne turned to me and said, listen lady, Carl is fed up with an old hag like you. He's been loving me every week. Carl wants a young and cute woman like me, not someone like you. Hey, stop it. My husband slapped Anne's cheek. Anne looked stunned from the slap, but then she began to sob uncontrollably. What do you mean? You told me that I was the one, that you loved me. Didn't you say you'd make me the manager of that beauty salon? Betty is lying. She's just trying to break us up. I was thoroughly disillusioned to see my husband trampling on a woman he loved, alibi his mistress, all in the name of self-preservation. That's it. I'm divorcing you. I'll demand compensation way above the going rate. Why? We've been together for 20 years. You can't divorce me over something like this. 20 years? 20 years with someone like you. So I'll ask for 20 times the compensation. 20 times? Don't joke. Who are you to tell me not to joke? Look who's talking. I instinctively aimed a punch at my husband's face, but the lawyer nearby swiftly grabbed my hand, stopping me in my tracks. That's enough, he said. Before we knew it, we had become the center of attention in the lobby. I decided to leave the rest to the lawyer and exited the scene. Later, my daughter successfully departed for her long-awaited trip to Korea. I told her that she has her own life, and shouldn't be swayed by her parents' circumstances, urging her to enjoy the present. My indulgent brother, who spoils his niece, surprised her with a lavish gift while she was there. He managed to get her a ticket to a live concert of her favorite idol group in Korea. She thoroughly enjoyed her graduation trip. Soon after I divorced my husband, I demanded a lump sum compensation from both my husband and his mistress. Although it wasn't 20 times the usual rate, thanks to my lawyer's firm handling, my emotional burden was minimized. Rumors spread about my husband lying to his company about a vacation with his wife, making it difficult for him to remain there, so he was transferred to a rural branch. It turned out that his mistress was a staff member at a men's spa he frequented. Apparently, he had lied to her saying he owned the spa I managed and used that to lure her in. After our divorce, my husband remarried his mistress. However, buried in debt and constantly fighting, she eventually left him. Since then, I've worked even harder, successfully opening branches for the spa I manage. I have no intentions of marrying, but I'm looking forward to spending my single life meaningfully from here on out. Thank you for watching the video all the way to the end. If you resonated with the content, please leave a positive rating and a comment.